Well, I found a query in the indreams.me feedback page for How Do I? And it was concerning walking backwards, and particularly walking backwards while dragging something. So I've been working on the game mechanic for doing that. So let's put down a puppet. If you've not seen Dr. Lex number 11, that shows you the walking backwards mechanic, which is the face camera direction tweak in the puppet tweak menu. So check that one out so that you know how to make a character walk backwards. Right, let's put down an object to move, shall we? I'm going to use this tall pot. I'm going to make it quite big. We want it so it's something heavy that we need to drag. There we go. So we're going to use this as our draggable object. Now you'll notice there is an auto guide for it. I'm going to just delete that because I don't really need it. I'm going to pop a microchip on our pot. And we're going to put in a trigger zone. So first of all, I'm going to pop a trigger zone in. I'm going to use a cylinder because that's the closest shape to the object. But before I do anything, I'm going to have to put grid snap on so that I can easily turn it. But you'll notice it's not upright because the angle of the microchip. So let's take the trigger zone off the microchip. Align it to the grid, and there we go. Now it's nice and upright. Now we can put it back on our microchip and lay it down over our pot. Now we want this to be pretty much centered on our pot, maybe a little bit smaller. How's that? That'll do. That'll be fine. Okay, so I've got a trigger zone, and this is where my puppet is going to be able to interact with my pot. So I'm looking for possessed controller sensors, and everything else can stay exactly the same. Let's turn our grid off. So we got our trigger zone, and I'm going to put some text above the pot when you're in that trigger zone to tell you what to do. So I'm going to put in triangle, drag. There we go. And we're going to wire that to the power of there. And I'm going to put that so that it's in the scene, facing the camera, and we'll just put it above the pot, like that. Right. So that's that done. Now, when we go to press the triangle button, we want the pot to be connected to our player. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tag to the belly of our character here, and I'm going to call this dragged object. And I'm going to just put this at arm's length. We can fiddle about with it in a minute. Sort of like that. Maybe a little bit lower, like that. And I'm going to put in a controller sensor in here. Now you could use the controller sensor in the puppet, but that would require wires coming from the puppet to this object, and I want to try and keep that to a minimum if possible. Having said that, there's a lot more complicated things going to be added, so it probably doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm going to put it in here. So we want our triangle to do something. So we're going to use an AND gate. So I'm going to say when I press triangle and you're in the zone, then this is when we're going to do all of our movement. So I'm going to put in a teleporter. and we are looking for dragged object, and we're also going to turn on match target orientation. There, like that. And power that on. So when you press triangle, this pot will end up next to our object. So we'll turn that on, and we'll make this remote controllable, and we'll just stick him in the zone. Whoa. Okay. I think we're going to need to try it. Right. There we go. Press triangle. There we go. There we are. He's attached to him. That works out. That's pretty good actually. I'm quite happy with that. All right. We now need to put in some keyframes. So now I'm going to keep these keyframes separate. You could use this, you do all of this in one keyframe, but I'm going to keep them separate. So our first keyframe is going to be the position of the hands of our puppet. So we'll just have it so you would spend some time getting this to look nice. I am not going to spend any time at all getting this to look nice, so I'm just going to do something like this. So that's him picking up the pot. Well, let's not do that. I'm going to put another keyframe down, and I don't want that. I want the purple base. Where's the purple base gone? It's hiding. There it is. Right. I'm going to turn on face camera direction. And I'm going to fiddle about with this pot. So hang on, let's link those up. I'm going to make this pot movable, because I want it to fall down to the ground after you've picked it up. So I don't want it sort of floating in the air. So I'm going to make it movable. But I'm going to fiddle about with the collides with a keyframe, because I don't want this to collide with my puppet when he's picking it up. So I'm going to put in another keyframe that is said, don't collide with friend. And that's going to happen when you pick it up. And we're going to make a label of friend for our puppet. So we'll pick that up. Now as I hold it, I can now drag my pot and let go, and it drops it down where I dropped it. There we go. Now as you can see, I'm always going to be facing forward holding the pot. This is much better than turning. So if you're going to have them picking up and dragging things, then it's really good to have that face camera toggle on. Right, now that has movement in all axes. Let's say you just wanted him to be able to move it forwards and backwards, and that's all. You don't want him to be able to go left and right with it. So what we need to do now is go into our puppet. Let's move him out of the way so we can see. Right, there we go. There's my puppet logic. Right, I need to separate out the movement of the local left stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in another microchip. So this is how you isolate movements with the left stick. This is actually quite useful for all sorts of things. It's taken me a while to work out how to do. So, okay. I'm going to put down a splitter. and I'm using the left local stick and putting it in I'm splitting the results. So we've got left and right and up and down. So I'm going to put another splitter in and another one in. And now this is looking for plus and minus. Now I'm going to need some exclusive gates. So I'm going to put some exclusive gates in. And I'm going to wire them all up to the plus and minuses. Now, just to show you, you wouldn't necessarily need to do this, but just to show you for debug purposes, I'm going to put in a text displayer for each of these. Now, this is left and right, so we'll go, we may have to mix these up a bit. Left, right, up, and down. This is a good way of working out whether or not you've got the right wires to the right thing. And you can always remove them afterwards. So it's a good debug exercise to make sure you know you've got the right thing going on. I probably got these in the wrong order, so we're going to try this out. So if I push, yeah, I've got them back to front. Left, right, yeah, okay, I've got them back to front. I thought I did. Okay, so we need to swap these around. There we are. Let's swap these around. Right. So it goes right, then left. Down, then up. There we go, let's try that now. So if I go up, down, left, right. Okay, good. Right, so we've now isolated our movements to up, down, left and right, so we know which way things are going. So what I'm going to do is, that's in a little microchip. I'm going to put down a selector. And I'm only going to run that microchip when it's in B. And I'm going to put in a node. And I'm going to wire our left stick node that goes to the walk in there like that, and that is going to be wired that's going to be the wired power for that. Okay, so when this microchip is run, we're going to put a node in here, but this time the left stick is only going to run if we are moving up or down. So we're going to wire into the power of that node from the up and the down, like so. Okay, so we've got that. Actually, I don't need to do that, do I? No, don't need that node. Right, let's just Yes, we do. Yes, we do need that node. Right. Right, so when this is on, we want to be in input B. Right, let's see if that works. So I can walk around, no problem at all. I go up to my pot, hold triangle, and now I can go down and I can go up. But if I try to go left and right, I can't. So I can now only move in the up and down direction. Now, it probably is possible to turn like this and then still go up and down. So you can move it. With the right stick, you can move it around. But your movement is restricted to up and down. You can't go left and right with it. So there we go. So there is our mechanic. Now, obviously, you won't have the up and down, left and right. You can remove these once you've got those, and they're definitely working. You can remove these. But this is an interesting mechanic. This allows you to identify your left, right, up and down movements of your left stick. And with that, you can use that for menu building and all sorts of things. So that's quite a useful little thing to know how to do. I didn't know how to do it until today, so a little bit of experimentation with these gates and where to put them. And now I know how to isolate movement in different directions, which is going to be extremely useful for all sorts of things. So there we are. So we've got our dragging mechanic. You can pick up and drag things around. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in your dreams.